Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daytona Beach 100 here at beautiful Daytona International Speedway. As we are going to see 31 cars take to the grid today. Chris, I think it's going to be some beautiful full throttle racing. As last week we saw an absolutely amazing show here at Daytona. We might see a little bit of hanging out here for the first 20, first 30, 40, 50, 60, 90 laps. And then once it gets to the end, everybody knows. Give me 1 second. I have driver chat on and Jimmy Barr is playing music for driver chat. Excuse me, but hey, we're gonna see some great racing here tonight. We know it's one of those tracks at a plate track. It's gonna be, too wide, and moving. There's gonna be some moving through the pack. I'm excited to see this, but Chris, I think we have our qualifying grid here ready to go, but it doesn't look like anybody has gridded yet. I don't think. They might be in pit road. Yeah, they're in pit road. That's what it is. Sorry about that. Forget you start on pit road here at Daytona. We do have a couple cars left out here, but Chris, I know Bill Hells won the opener at Daytona, and look where he's going to sit himself here. Right up top on P1 in that first position. That Full Throttle Racing 53 of Bill Hells will be pulling off pole position here. We'll get back on board here and get a shot with some of your cars here that aren't spawned in, but we're going to go ahead and get going through it. Is William Brown in that Team Sparkle Unicorn, who is not loaded in yet. He will be rolling off P2 to here tonight. Then we'll see Ken Baum Jr. rolling off P3 here. As outside of him, he'll have Daniel Croft, in that number 31 machine. We'll see Don DeGroot in the Up in Smoke 61 rolling off P5 here tonight, with William Hobart starting in that P6 position. We'll see Kip Easley right there in that P7 position, with on his outside, it'll be that 88 of Nick Cannon starting in that 8th position. Then we'll see in that 9th spot Jaden Bingaman with Josh Gaiman rolling off in that 10th position. We got Robbie Bice starting 11th here tonight, with David Smill Jr. in 12th. Colin McCarthy going to roll off 13th here, with Kevin Click in that 14th position. We'll see Lucas Nilges rolling off 15th here tonight, with Matthew Fitz in 16th. Jeremy Zarfos will be starting 17th here tonight, with Shane Weldon starting in that 18th position. Then we will see Michael Zuber rolling off P19 here tonight, with Andrew May on his outside, not caught up to him yet, starting in that P20 position. Then going down into that 21st position, it'll be that Stan Mayberry position, or Stan Mayberry machine. Good to see Stan back up here racing with the Full Throttle guys. And then going into that 22nd spot, we have Jimmy Barr. Starting here tonight in that 23rd position, I want to say that was originally supposed to be Michael Self, but it does look like he rolled onto the back of the pack. So rolling in his spot in that 23rd should be Stan Mayberry, or Joshua Susi, Ryan Broderick. It will roll off 24th. Yeah, they're all over the place right now, man. They're all switching positions down there. You got some guys still on the apron, some guys already up on the track. So we are seeing some names bouncing around here. Do apologize about that. It gets pretty hectic here towards the back. But we will see Ryan Sword. Chris, do I remember this name?
That is an old Team Sparkle Unicorn driver.
I was about to say, that name sounds very familiar, but I feel like I haven't seen it any this season. He'll start in that 26th position. Brody Green going to be rolling off 27th. And then we got George Wood, who's joining us back here again. He'll be starting in that 27th position. We got Brody Green, and then, goodness gracious, Chris, I'm at 28th or 29th. Chris Lynn in 29th. Chad Engel in 30th, man. Do apologize about that. And then Michael Self doesn't look like he's going to roll off with the grid right now. Goodness gracious. But you see you got William Brown there spawned in that number 9 Sparkle Unicorn machine now. Do apologize about that once again. Once those cars start moving around and then you got somebody that shuffles back all the way to the end of the grid, it can really, really, really make the iRacing live timing go all sorts of wacko. We are rolling down, and the iRacing pace car is going to turn left. I was about to say we were about to be rolling through the tribals. We're going to hit that start zone. It'll be green, green, green. Let's see how Bill Hells in that 53 is going to wind him up. And if you are new to these super speedway tracks, I'm sure most of you are very familiar, but these cars will take about a lap and a half before they really are up to full speed. So don't expect some craziness here, but don't expect these cars to be up to full speed yet. Let them get wound up. Here down in turn 1 and 2 for the first time tonight. It looks like Bill Hells is going to pull out on that inside lane. He's going to push that 53 machine. We'll see if that outside lane will be able to build up. But Chris, last time we saw these cars on a plate track, we knew what it was like. Kind of a stagnant outside lane. We'll have to see if that outside lane can be able to gather it back up here tonight and roll with these guys.
Well, I will say, we did the Xfinity race here in Saturday, and there was only 9 or 10 of us in it, but You know, I will say the outside lane did get stagnant very, very quickly. So that's going to be interesting to see. You know, like everybody was running the inside lane, trying to do what that 9 of William Brown is trying to do right now, get that push, get up there in front of that 53 and take over that lead. A lot of drivers are going to ride this top lane and hope that they can just make some momentum up there. But we do know that bottom lane is really fast.
I just saw George Wood in chat before the race started. Type, Petty, Rusty, awesome. Bill Irvin, Gordon Earnhardt, Smith, Johnson, Jr. Man, that's a classic song.
Yeah, so William Brown to the lead.
Sorry, Chris, sorry. Get back on track.
So William Brown going to assume the lead here. You see on the outside of him is that 13 of William Hobart. But Bill Hells is still pushing that 9 machine as much as he can. You know, Bill Hells is quick here. Normally takes an EOL at most of these tracks, but you know, getting on the pole here, I would want to be up here in the front too. I wouldn't want to be in the back.
Bill Hells won at road course. Somebody told me he won. Whenever Bill Hells, I know Bill Hells got 2 wins this season though, and I was saying it was his first win of the season. I want to say it was like Vegas or something. But I do remember they told me he did win the opening race at Daytona. So Bill Hells, very experienced here at Daytona. I think this could be a night where we might see that 53 be in contention all night. We just got to see how the night is going to play out. You can see it a little bit in the distance back there, but all through practice and qualifying, man, this track was foggy. They auto-generated the weather, and they see where it got them. So I bet you they're never going to do that again. But hey, at least it's not raining. That would kind of
yeah.
I know we don't got rain on the oval side yet, but it'd be fun, right? Imagine having with us for 4 hours while we red flag the event.
He's riding on board here with Bill Hells. You see him just trying to stay on that back bumper of William Brown. We know, like I was racing with William, like I said, Saturday. He is one of those drivers that was giving us the business. So gonna be interesting to see how William handles this lead right now in that clean air. Bill Hells is gonna be able to kind of just hang out and save us a little bit of fuel. You know, but that front being in front, can really start to eat that fuel away. So wondering how long William Brown will actually stay up there, and if any of his Team Sparkle uniform teammates. You can see Nick Cannon. He's currently sitting in 6th position, but he was one of those drivers that was battling out there in the lead with us before racing here in the Xfinity cars. So it's going to be interesting to see when Nick Cannon decides to get to the front and help his teammate.
Will be indeed to see if these Sparkle uniform guys are going to be able to get to the field. But we know last time, Chris, they did run pretty towards back. I remember at Talladega, was it? Because we joined right before Talladega, didn't we? And we got back on board, so we were only a couple weeks in when they raced Talladega. I do remember at that track, not James, Jeremy Zarfos. What has gone on with the 29? He has hit the wall big time because that front right looks like, oh, he's parked it. Oh, bad bump from the 27. We saw that in practice all night when we were watching before the race started. Oh, and he broke the front right. He broke the front right. I don't think that was anything he could have done. He slammed the wall so hard, I think it broke the toe arm or whatever, toe link, whatever it's called. I'm horrible with all those names. Control arm, whatever you want to call it. It broke it. It's broke. It's no longer rolling.
Yeah.
29 is going to be out for the night, man. That stinks. That's one of those Dodge plastic upper control arms, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was actually thinking about that. We'll see if we can get another view here from Zarfos in a second, but I see a lot of drivers just trying to hang on to it right now. That outside lane doesn't look like it's really picking up. Whoa, as I say that, Nick Cannon getting a big bump there from Kevin Click.
Going on, yeah. That outside lane, excuse me. That 25 Kevin Click, man. You gotta be careful when you're pushing. I don't think he was pushing while he was swaying around like that, but you know, that'll just bring you to the point, Chris. You know, when you're linked up in these race cars, you have to be solid. That outside lane is definitely in all sorts of wax. It looks like they are all over the place there on corner entry, and that is going to kill their momentum. You might think, oh, there's still 7 cars deep in that line, but when you sway around like that and cut that air up, it slows these cars down a lot more than you think. It really does.
Well, you know,
you're seeing that outside lane kind of fall apart a little bit.
To kind of put it to perspective, I want to say it was the 25 of Kevin Click that was actually pushing me. I could be wrong. No, it wasn't. I'm going to have to remember the name, but I can't remember. Chris Lynn, maybe. I can't remember who was pushing me. But somebody, Ron Broderick, that's who it was. Ron Broderick was pushing me down the backstretch, and they were like, hey, man, he's probably one of the best pushers in the league. And I was like, all right, so I'll link up with him. We blew past everybody sitting on the front straightaway. So if you just link up and can stay together, that's the key to this. You know, like you were saying, with that swaying back and forth, a lot of the drivers can't keep that momentum linked up, as you're seeing right now. Whew. 69 there of Matthew Fitz getting all over the back bumper of that 25 of Kevin Click. So this is what we were talking about. You know, this inside lane is kind of staying straight, and that outside lane is getting, like I like to say, weaving baskets. So they are just not able to hold that same speed.
They are doing something. They are all out of whack up there in that outside lane, just swaying back and forth. And look how smooth the inside lane is rolling. I know it's difficult to be on that outside lane running fast, Chris. When you're the third, fourth car in line, it can be difficult. But he's going to have to smooth it up here if they want that outside lane to have a chance.
Riding on board here with Andrew May, one of those drivers that I saw getting kind of sideways back there. Going to see if he's going to be able to keep it. You see the distance between them right now. That is not where you want to be on the back straightaway. You don't want to be that.
Zarfos, or is that Michael Self?
I want to say that is Michael Self.
Yeah, Zarfos is not.
Yeah, that is
and he
the
has
15 of Michael.
Yeah, I didn't have my timing up.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Jeremy Zarfos. One of those drivers that, you know, we were looking for some success here in this later season. And I know early season he was getting up there towards the front. So, you know, it was one of those drivers that we were looking to have a little bit of change of luck. And as I'm saying that, Josh, look at this change of scenery here on the track. Now that outside lane is already tucked up to that inside lane. We're going 3 wide here down the back straightaway. Michael Self just going to have to hold that outside lane best he can.
Yeah, you hate being that lapper right there, Drew. The field's coming up to you 2 wide. But look at that, Chris. Kevin Click, Nick Cannon, they have linked up. They're going to move themselves in the lead. New leader, 88 and Nick Cannon here. Next to the inside lane, they're going to come out of turn number 4. And, yeah, I think it's going to seal the deal here coming down through the trioval, Chris. Nick Cannon will lead. What lap are we on? Lap number 10. So new leader at lap 10, Nick Cannon. We'll see how this 25 and Kevin Click and this 88 will be able to work together. As we know, it's a Sparkle Unicorn and Turn 2 Terribles teammate, or not two teammates, but, you know, I mean, 2 different teams right there. We'll see, though, if William Brown and Matthew Fitz are going to try to get this guy out of their way and say, hey, let's link up together. Let's make some momentum going.
I'm wondering if Kevin Click is overheating, saw him kind of,
He is wobbling, and Matthew Fitz is not going with him. They are hanging him out to dry.
Yeah, that is.
Excuse me, that is who is that? The
25 of Kevin Click is currently.
Who's that in the green livery? Is that Daniel Holdcroft, the 31 of Daniel Holdcroft? Is that why I'm not recognizing that race car on the second car outside lane? Yeah, that's exactly who that is, Daniel Holdcroft. No, it's not.
That is Andrew May is on the outside lane right now.
Is that Andrew May?
Yeah, the 22 of Andrew May.
Okay, bet. I was like, I just couldn't tell who that was.
A lot of different liveries on here tonight.
I'm a big fan of the green race cars. Okay, you know that, Chris.
I do know that.
I've raced multiple green and bright yellow cars, even hot pink.
Yeah, we'll see if that outside lane can start working here again. Right now, William Brown has got his teammate up in front of him. That is Nick Cannon, who is currently your leader. But on that outside lane, that's 68 of George Wood. You see him on the outside lane. This is somewhere you don't want to be coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh, did he just blink out?
Yeah, he blinked out.
If that was me, I'd have been all that forward, you know? Get me out of here.
Because right now, Matthew Fitz is...
Oh, sorry, Chris, continue.
I was going to say, Matthew Fitz is trying to get that push to get up there from Andrew May, but he's not really pushing this Andrew May to that 69.
Look where Kevin Click getting hung out to dry. Unless he just kind of wanted to go back after that and just rolled it back. And who is that coming out of line right there? Jimmy Barr? Daniel Holdcroft? Not sure who that is. I think it might be Daniel Holdcroft.
That's the 31.
No, it was, it was 31 Daniel Holdcroft. Yeah.
Daniel Holdcroft.
You said he was rolling with the Nitro?
No, I'm not sure about Daniel Holdcroft. I know that Kevin Gibney Jr. is. I don't know if he's officially on the team. I know Robbie said.
Did I even say Kevin Gibney Jr.'s name?
Yes. I think so.
I don't remember saying that name, Chris. So if I didn't, sorry about that, Kevin. He did start 24th here tonight. That was towards the part of the grid where it was all going wacky. But he was 21st, so rolling with those nitro guys, Chris. You know, those are the guys you want to roll with sometimes here these last couple weeks.
Yeah, but look who's moving back to the lead, Josh. The 69 of Matthew Fitz did move on to the inside lane, but Bill Hell's just popped up out of nowhere. Now he's got Andrew May pushing behind him. You're going to see that 53 machine go down to the bottom lane, so he's going to leave Andrew May out there on that outside lane, but I wonder how long that 22 is going to hang on. Yeah, I did.
Sorry about that if I just scared you guys screaming into the mic, man. That just caught me off guard, though. But Matthew Fitz and Andrew May, Chris, you know, Andrew May's really thinking, I want to get up there and lead this race. He's come from all the way back from 20th, all the way up into this third position on that outside lane. Right there was his opportunity to maybe get a little bit of help more to Bill Hell's, clear him. They could have cleared him as a two-car tandem, maybe to Matthew Fitz, as Nick Cannon wasn't good enough. But Bill Hell saw the opportunity, and he took it. It was almost the wronged opportunity today. He barely clipped himself off the nose of Matthew Fitz, and you see Matthew Fitz coming out of corner. He doesn't seem happy with that Bill Hell's machine. Very aggressive push off the corner of turn 2.
Yeah, we're seeing Ryan Sword.
He is shoving that 53 of Bill Hell's. He is letting him know, buddy. All right, you want to get in front of me? Let's go. And, you know, it couldn't be that, but I like to make fake drama, so. If I wasn't here to make drama, who would there be there? Who would be there to make it? As I'm going to turn the driver chat back on for a second, and I'll let you know. As you see, look at that team. Not going to send performance. That 53 machine is he's going right there on board with that Matthew Fitz machine. And you see the back of that 53 as you look off the back of the 53 now at Matthew Fitz. And you can see, Chris, on the steering wheel, look how steady Matthew Fitz steering wheel is back there. Holding in one spot. Yeah, that's how accurate you got to be at a track like Daytona. A little bit more steering input. He's in the apron. A little less. He's in the outside lane. You got to stop and hold it. And it's not the most difficult thing. But it can vary. It can be when you get 2-3 wide. Trust me. It turns into a whole different ballgame. Right now, Matthew Fitz is hanging out. When you got 4 cars on your outside, you know, coming all around you, everybody's trying to make the last second pass. That becomes very, very hard. Trust me.
As right now we're coming to lap 17. We're seeing this front pack of, I want to say this is about 11 cars right now currently sitting up in this this top pack. Then we'll drop back here and see what's going on in this backpack from 11th back. You see Kevin Click now currently leading that pack. You see Kyler McCarthy right behind him. Robbie Bison, that 28 machine on that outside lane, trying to get some momentum going, but not able to make anything stick right now. He's got his teammate of Shane Weldon Cedar right behind him, and then you see Don DeGroot, Daniel Holdcraft, Kip Easley all right there behind him. So a lot of drivers back here just, I want to say, hanging on for dear life right now.
They're hanging out, but goodness gracious, they're too wide. It can still get sketchy.
It really can.
And it's not going to help them catch this front. Look at this 2010 package right here. Matthew Fitz said, all right, buddy, we're going. We're going.
Yes,
Matthew Fitz just pushed them out to a 4-car length advantage, and you see him. He's going to back off. He's going to get this big, big run down the back straightaway. We're going to see another push like this, but that pack's going to catch it.
As I'm seeing on YouTube, Rylan, good to have you here, buddy. 2 weeks in a row.
Rylan.
As we're seeing now, that little bit of a distance really hurt Matthew Fitz and Bill Hells. It's going to allow everybody else behind them to catch up because they were tucked in. Whoa! You see that 69 machine getting a little loose. You see his teammate Lucas Nilge's also getting a little loose up there on that top lane. So right now, everybody's just kind of getting antsy right now.
And you know, this isn't the longest. There's only 100 laps. I mean, yeah, 100 laps is a lot here at Daytona, but we're already 20 laps in, so you keep picking them down like this. This race is going to be over before you know it. These moves might not meet, or these moves are going to need to be made. And I see Daniel Holdcroft just completely coming down pit road. He is right there in this, behind this Don DeGroot machine. You can see him right there, that white car on the inside lane. I say the white car on the inside lane. So we got 2 white cars right there on the inside lane, but that is that cat machine. We'll see if anybody's going to come with Daniel Holdcroft, or if this is just one of those things, has to come down pit road and outside of the sim activities. So we'll see what's going on here with this 31. They might have just accidentally hit the pit button. There we go. That might be what happened there, Chris.
Okay. Well, we'll go back up here on front, up front, as we were just going to see if we could watch what was happening. But like you said, might have just hit the button by accident. I know a lot of drivers have keybinds set up to steering wheel buttons. You can take your hand off, you know, sit there and adjust your fingers.
Graze a button or something,
yep,
yeah.
and just accidentally graze a button. So it could be something to happen there. But right now, this front pack is just trying their best to get away from this backpack. They are doing a pretty good job, but we are seeing a lot of drivers on that outside lane start to fall apart. This inside lane looks like it's working a little better.
You know, Chris, with this 6-second split, if it stays green and we get, green flag pit stops, it could really mess the field up. We can see a very split out field. I mean, a 6-second gap at Daytona is a lot different than a 6-second track like Darlington or something that, it's very different. So it can be hard to make up. We'll just have to see what's going to go on here. But I'm not counting out. And I say that, nobody said anything on the radio. I don't think. That was a strategy move right there by the Nitro guys, man. They weren't letting anybody know they were coming down pit road.
Yeah, so maybe Daniel Holcroft actually meant to, but just noticed that nobody was saying anything. Maybe didn't have anybody to go with him. Right now, this front pack
somebody's saying something. Sorry, Chris.
No, this front pack is starting to single file out, so we're going to see if they can start to run away or if they're going to come down pit lane. We know, they say cautions breed cautions. Well, pit stops breed pit stops for everybody else. They're going to see somebody come down and go, oh, maybe I should come down now. So we're going to see if
the Nitro guys there on the blend lane coming out of turn 2. So they're going to get caught here, possibly. I don't think they are, actually. They should get back up to speed, maybe. I don't know. They're coming through 1 and 2 now. So this is going to be tight for the Nitro guys. But if these guys have to pit here in the next 5 or so laps, it's going to be a nice little undercut. They're going to make some of that time back. That's another thing about pit stop strategies. You can do that undercut strategy, make up some of that lost time. But these guys aren't moving well. 193, go check back on the Nitro guys real quick. I can tell you what they're going. 196 for Princess Banana Hammock on entry the corner. They're only running 181 right now. So they're going to get caught a couple more seconds, but it just depends. I mean, these Nitro guys are smart, man. And if Josh Susie comes down pit road this early, then you know something's up, right?
Yeah, because he is the master of coming down pit lane. Or not coming down pit lane,
coming down pit
or
road.
not
That's
coming down pit lane. But we're going to probably see him eventually get caught. I'm watching the gap right now between them.
They shouldn't be caught now. I think they should be up to speed. The gap should start stagnating out here. You really shouldn't see much more gain. Unless the Nitro guys just get completely out of whack up here, but I just can't see it. But there are, 10 cars in that front pack right there compared to the 7 Nitro guys, so a little bit more momentum. We'll just have to see, but I have faith in the Nitro guys, man. I don't think they would just throw their strategy away like that. I think they're pretty smart, so we're just going to hold on to it here, Chris.
Yeah,
wait to see what happens.
Something that I noticed in that whenever I was on board there with Matthew Fitz is going into turn 3. Did you notice that a lot of these Nitro guys were spread out? They weren't actually linked up together. That's something you don't need to see. These cars are going to have to stay pretty much bumper to bumper the entire course, or excuse me, the entire track, to make up and not lose any time to Matthew Fitz behind him. Because right now they are all single file back there as well.
Yeah, Gibney is getting all out of sorts right there for a second, but he's going to gather it back up. Big shove go into that back of Jaden Bingham. And as the Matthew Fitz group is still starting to catch up, Chris, we're just going to have to see what these pit strategies are going to do. I'm horrible with pit strategies. You could throw a penny into a wishing well. Sorry, I got so quiet there with the engine. I hurt myself. It confused me, but you can throw a penny into a wishing well and say, hey, are we going to get a good pit stop here tonight? Or what's our pit strategy? That's what you're going to get about me with pit strategies. I am so close. Tire consumption. That's probably why I never win races anymore, Chris.
Sorry, my headset accidentally got in my head. But yeah, no, that is something that I am not very good with either, is pit strategies. I am terrible with pit strategies. I'm normally, if I get on a team, I just listen to what they say. As right now, Josh, as I'm watching this Jaden Bingham gap between him and Matthew Fitz, they're slowly getting caught. It's now about a 29, Jaden Bingham, they're slowly starting to pull away. They're now about 29 seconds behind this lead pack. So they put a whole second off of them just in this last 2 laps. Whoa, as you're seeing the 62
seconds for me. I think you were looking at Stan Mayberry. He's 29 seconds.
It could be what it is. I'm sorry. I might have been looking at it.
They're almost a whole lap down, and it's what, a 44-second lap around here, 45, something like that.
Yes.
It's been a minute since I qualified. Did they turn? I want to say it's a 44, like 44 in qualifying trim, 45, something like that. I don't know.
Right now you're seeing that the 9.
I don't know, man.
The 9 of William Brown now pushing his teammate, trying to get a little bit of distance between him and Bill Hells. But Bill Hell's not going to get away from. They're not going to be able to get away from him unless they stay linked up. that is something that, like I said, you're just going to have to watch out for. We'll go back up here with Jaden Bingham and co. You're seeing not as much separation between them, but you're also not wanting to see drivers wash up to the top like that.
Wait, I think Zarfos is back on the track, Chris.
Zarfos is back on the track.
I just heard him say to Jaden Bingham, hey, when you pull up, can you check my rear damage? Nah, I ain't seeing much rear damage. I mean, unless he was saying something else and I misunderstood him, but, you know, we did. Yeah, he said all good, so they were definitely talking about that rear damage. Jaden Bingham and Chris, kind of crazy that, you know, I mean, still down, what, 20 laps almost, 19 laps. I mean, still, nice to see him back out on the racetrack, Christian. Hey, just being out there can help. Him being in that lane with those cars, that's an extra car there. He might not be able to hold speed here. He might have some damage we're not seeing that's not allowing him to. But, I mean, still, an extra car is an extra car for the team.
Right, I mean, that is true. It might not be your teammate, but like you said, a car is a car. He's still on that threshold of being able to catch that draft, so I'm wondering if maybe they might slow up just a little bit. I wouldn't see it seeing as they're not a teammate, but Matthew Fitz and co. are really starting to catch them.
Yeah, and Chris, Matthew Fitz, man, he has been your dominant leader here so far for the last couple laps, just kind of hanging out there in that first spot. Any moment I could be expecting them to come down pit road here. They're still just ticking the laps off.
As we're just seeing in front of Matthew Fitz, you're starting to see that 29 of Jeremy Zarfos come into the picture. So unfortunate that he did have that accident early on and killed that race car. But, you know, looks like they went back to the hauler and pulled the old secondary car out and said, all right, we'll just run that one. Might not be as fast, but it's a short track car.
Control arms off everything, you know,
yeah, it's the short track car.
Get the short track chassis. Yeah.
They had to take all the stuff off of it.
Yeah, that's why it's running so slow, you know.
It's not geared right.
Good to see Jeremy Zarfos just still out here turning laps, man. I mean, it's one of those things you say it all the time when you see these guys out here getting back into the race. I mean, like we said, 20 laps down almost, and he's still out there putting everything he's got into it, man. That's a warrior right there.
Yeah, always.
It looks like they've traded spots up here, and now they are super out of whack, Chris, here with the Nitro guys.
Yeah, they are not. I'm assuming they weren't expecting Fitz and co. to not come down or to come down pit lane already.
I would assume they thought they were going to be on some weird strategy compared to them.
Maybe it was just a fuel strategy. I mean, I'm
sorry, Chris.
No, I was going to say, it says they were down pit lane for 8-9 seconds, so I'm wondering if it was just a splash and go.
Yeah, I would assume you don't need tires first.
No. No, you don't. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I didn't have any tires on the back of my Xfinity car. I was still running. I didn't put any tires on it. I was just taking fuel.
And I'm pretty sure that one day we did that A-Open race way back in the day where I came all the way from 2 laps down. I was on the same set of tires from, like, being 2 laps down. I was just going in pit road and left my tires, you know, click, was taking tires without knowing, so I was running on like 60-lap-old tires, man. I mean, it's possible, but it's not fun on restarts. That's really about it. And you know, it can get really wobbly there on the late runs, but other than that, I mean, it's manageable, way more than manageable, like other tracks, you know.
Yeah, but this is something you're not wanting to see. The Nitro guys are starting to get separated. You've got Kevin Gibney, Kyler McCarthy, and Joshua Gaiman all sitting in this front little pack right here. And Josh Susie is leading the pack of 3 right behind them. David Smith and Jane Bigeman, but Josh, look behind them. As I'm saying that, Don DeCrute, Daniel Holdcroft, Kip Easley down pit lane. Also, Ryan Sword down pit lane. It's like you were saying earlier, Josh, good to see that 94 machine back in the full throttle league. You know, like I said, Ryan Sword has been one of those guys that whenever we first started calling, he was on the Team Sparkling team, and I didn't even have to change his name. He was already in here in my settings. So that's the great thing about it. Good to have old drivers back.
I remember every time a caution would pop out, Sparkle Unicorn would all just spam in chat, this caution provided to you by Sparkle Unicorn. Those are the days, man. Those are the days. I see Matthew Fitz pull it out every now and then, but man, those are the days.
Because right now you're starting to see Matthew Fitz catch this group in front of them, but now they've kind of gotten tucked back up to each other. Let's see if
Maybe
they can.
Maybe wanted to swap cars out, you know, say, hey, I don't like, you know, Gibney being behind, or, you know, maybe I could push Gibney better than he can push me, or vice versa. Any of those names, swap the order around. Sometimes that's how you have to get, Chris. I mean, sometimes you're not the best pusher, and sometimes you're the better leader, or whatever it may be. So it's just how it falls with these plate tracks sometimes, and we'll have to see how it's going to manage for them. Because right now, like you said, they are still getting chased down. Got a lot of cars built up behind them.
Yeah, you're noticing this lane right here, or excuse me, this line right here is all single file. They're just pushing, and we saw that breakup there from those Nitro guys as Ryan Broderick, Chris Lynn, and Shane Welton all down pit lane as well. We're seeing Matthew Fitz, like I said, still catching those Nitro guys. So gonna have to see if these front runners are gonna come down pit lane anytime soon. Hit lap 35 just now. We're seeing Don DeGroote, Kip Easley, and Daniel Holdcroft coming out of pit lane right now.
Who is that on the blend line? Is that Shane Weldon? Yeah, that is Shane Weldon, Chris Lynn. I want to say that's Ryan Broderick. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Slick looking skin, man.
Let's go back here.
See Daniel Holdcroft and Kip Easley.
Get to go ahead and pass those guys that were coming out on the blend lane. You see the 61, Don DeGroote, also going to charge by on that outside lane. We'll go back up here on board with Matthew Fitz, see how far he's got to go before he catches those Nitro guys. This is something that we normally don't talk about, Josh. We don't talk about these Nitro guys being so far in the back. Normally we're talking about Susie and Co. up in the front, but Josh, we're already starting to see that. Look at the gap that's already starting to shrink. Man, this is just crazy.
These guys are running a pretty tight knit pack right here. I say that and they get a little bit out of the whack there. Matthew Fitz, Team Sparkle uniform with him and William Brown. These guys are looking pretty fast tonight. They got William Brown. Big hand up there. It's pretty much just turn two terribles full throttle. Turn two terribles and Team Sparkle uniform top 10 with the one full throttle guy, Bill Hills. I'm just mixed in right there. I did not. Lap 37. Goodness gracious, these guys are picking on.
Yeah, it's already 8:40, and we're already almost 40 laps into this. This is going by quick.
Yeah, they're moving these laps by. The more cautions we don't have, they can go off faster. And it's one of those things of now you're starting to think as the Nitro guys, you know, no, now I understand what they're doing, because this should only be, what, a two-stop race, 50-50, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, so what they're doing is, yeah, I mean, I guess I understand. They're going to be able to stay out, like, what, 10 laps longer? And they're expecting probably a caution here towards the late end.
But they are starting to put a little bit of distance, though.
I was about to say, now that I'm understanding it, you know, my little peanut brain, the gears are starting to turn in there. I'm starting to understand the strategy now. It just took me, 20 laps. It just reminded me, Chris, we've got Rylan here, so he's been strapped whenever we need to go to the Rylan can.
Well, we're kind of going.
We do have our resident Rylan.
Well, right now we are just single file. We're going to kind of go back here and check this third pack that we have. As you see, I want to say that is Chad Engel in the lead of that pack. That is, and then you see the 91 of Brody Green right behind him. 25 of Kevin Click, who got strung out in the middle lane, was running up there in the top 5. Then he got strung out in that middle lane, and now he's moved himself all the way back to the 13th position. You see the 48 of Stan Mayberry, also another driver that I am very, very happy to see back in the sim rig. I've had the privilege of racing with Stan. Good race car driver. Good guy. Love the fact that he's back here.
lead. Chris, it's always good to have the names that, you know, we're used to seeing back up here. Is Robbie Bice is being scored in 15th. Is that, who's that 15 car? That is Michael Self. That's why.
We're going to go back up here on board with Matthew Fitz. Once we get some, once we get a pit stop or two, we'll see if we can get on that Ryland cam, Josh. Once we start getting a couple of side by sides, we'll go out there and you know, we'll get him, strap him on after a pit stop or something.
Yeah, we have to bring him down to get road. We have to put him in this cloning machine, and we clone a bunch of Rylands, which isn't good, but thankfully it's only not real. And then we tape them to all the cars. If we had more than one Ryland running around, that'd be bad.
That would be bad.
Just kidding, Ryland. You know we love you, buddy. As I heard, somebody's in this time is Stan Mayberry. I think Robbie Bice is going to be coming down as well, Brady Green and co.
So I wonder if this middle lane is, or excuse me, this middle pack is deciding to come down pit lane. But like we were saying, look at that distance. They were almost, you know, entering turn. Excuse me, coming out of turn 2.
Here comes Matthew Fitz, Chris. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Matthew Fitz will be pitting this time by with the Chad Angle, Kevin Click, Brady Green, Stanberry, and Robbie Bice group is going to be pitting. Let's go back on that Matthew Fitz machine, Chris, because I might be seeing a lot of people pit down here. This is one of my favorite parts of the race. Okay. I was going to say, did he just pump fake the crowd? Calling the pit cycle, but not coming down. But it does look like everybody is going to come in pit road, Chris. They're all going to get slowed up very nicely. A good pit stop from that front pack.
Yeah, Bill Hells was the only driver that decided not to come down pit lane. So that 53 machine is just stranded out here in the lead by himself. So we'll see how we'll see how this fares out for him. Everybody does seem like they have hit their pit stops or pit stalls, excuse me. We'll see if this this Nitro team can get up here in the lead. Maybe this strategy did work out for them. They're starting to catch Ryan's sword, so this could be another driver added to this this train. See that 94 machine going to go ahead and take that outside lane.
Oh yeah, they're catching them. 100%, they're going to pass them. You're about to see, you're looking at your leaders right now. There's Matthew Fitz and Nick Cannon right there, the leaders. Nick Cannon is your leader, or Bill Hells is your leader, and there are your leaders at the moment. Bill Hells just made his way into pit road, so they are going to get past that solo car of Bill Hells pretty easily. He will take that number 1 pit stall, though, Chris. He might come out in front of these guys. Nah, there's no way, man. There's no way.
If anything,
only,
he should be able to cycle through.
Nah, I don't think he's going to.
At least with this Cannon and Co. group.
Whoa, they are all out of whack. 94 stayed on the inside.
You see right now, we got a Team Sparkle Unicorn train going on right now.
Bill Hells is going to fall back into that bar, I would say. He is driving that thing off the apron. Did you see him? He said, heck with the heat cycle phase. I'm going to warm these tires up myself. He was driving that puppy out of pit road.
As right now, Kevin Gibney Jr. is your leader in that 62 machine. And Kyle McCarthy, Josh Susi, Joshua Gaiman, David Smill, and Jaden Bingaman all riding right behind him. And you see that gap that goes between them. It's just Nick Cannon, Matthew Fitz, William Brown, and Michael Zuber all in a lane. Or in a line, excuse me. And then you see Bill Hells.
What did I say? He's going to come into that Ken Baum Jr. group. Look at that. Looks like he's just now getting up to full speed, though. I would say that 94 Brian Sword has some sort of damage. I mean, they are flying past him like he's.
Yeah, that front bumper does look a little dinged up. Might have got into the wall a couple of times. I'm gonna ride back up here on board with your leaders. Just see the gap that they have now between Nick Cannon. You see it's a 4 tenths gap. So still a 4-second gap that Nick Cannon has to make up, but there's only 4 drivers in this this little pack. See George Wood in between them right now. lot of drivers just single filing it out right now. We are at lap 45. You know, this is one of those moments where you just go, hey, you can't win the race, you know, at lap 40. So, you know, might as well just kind of settle in and try to catch everybody. As you see, George Wood did let Nick Cannon, Matthew Fitz, William Brown, and Michael Zuver around. Because right now it's still about a 4.2 second gap between these Nitro guys and Nick Cannon and co. Right back here. This is where Bill Hells did cycle out after that solo pit stop. So he's currently sitting in that 15th position. So did cycle back there a little bit. Not where he wants to be, but not out of it just yet. We know, like you said, Josh, was one of those drivers that has won here at Daytona this season. So he could pull it out again. It's just going to have to see how this race unfolds here in the next 55 laps.
I can tell you, Chris, the radios are hot right now. Robbie Mike is not happy with Ryan Broderick right now. Not sure what happened, but something had to happen. I mean, that's who they were going. I mean, he's the only Ryan in here, unless he was talking about Ryan Sword, but I don't think Ryan Sword is even near them. And Ryan Broderick was the one replying back, so have to see what happened here. Yeah, not sure, Chris. We'll just get back on one here. Yeah, I couldn't understand what Robbie initially said. I just heard him say the name. I heard Ryan respond back. Not sure what Ryan said either. It's kind of hard to hear a voice chat sometimes when the engines are in a certain spot. Or the cars are in a certain spot and you get the engine noise through the camera. I'm not going to quote any of the words they say, but they were definitely, there's definitely some heat on the radio.
Yeah, as we're seeing Nick Cannon and co have put... Whoa, This Matthew Fitz just went off track. I just saw it. I can't find him where he's... Yeah, I don't know what happened with that 69 machine. See, he's still all out of whack. See if I can find what happened here. Oh, it looks like a bad push. Looks like a bad push. Yeah, it looks like, oh man, it looks like William Brown took a shot from the 69 of Matthew Fitz, and then you see Zuver.
Man.
Yeah, you see Zuver get into the back bumper there of Matthew Fitz, and he is still down there trying to collect it up.
We got no caution from that, correct?
No, we did not get a caution. William Brown
had to step away. Had somebody come in.
Yeah, William Brown is down pit lane right now. He was one of those drivers that did get slammed into the wall. So, you know, one of those things come into play. Don't push the pusher. See what happens.
Man. It stinks. They got lucky though. Some of these guys that are on these strategies, they didn't bring a caution out because they could have messed up some strategies.
We'll see if we can see what happened here from Matthew.
As Rylan is no longer on that car anymore. He got that Rylan, clone Rylan, got taken off the wall.
Seeing just looks like a little bit of miscommunication. They just got out of whack.
It looked like, who was that behind him? The 94?
It was Zuver. I think it was Michael Zuver that did give the push to excuse me, I was hearing something going on in my headset. Yeah, Michael Zuver, the 96, does look like he was the one that gave the bump.
Yeah, that's what that is. Sorry, Ryan Sword, didn't mean to throw you under the bus there. You were 2 numbers off from being the 96. Those are close. No cigar. Oh, they are getting caught big time right there. That's Bill Hells and Co., correct?
Yes, it is. It's unfortunate there for Matthew Fitz and William Brown. We know William Brown, also one of those drivers that has a lot of talent behind the wheel, but always gets caught up in the mess. It's just always, I feel like it's my luck. You know, you run a good race, and then something out of your control is what gets you. Something that you just can't control.
Talented race car driver, talented at getting caught up in the wrecks too.
I feel that.
Happens, man. It just happens. You know, every time I get on iRacing, I always feel like I'm the one. And then I think, you know what? How many other people feel the same way as me? Well, my answer, or that question gets answered every week for me sometimes, Chris. Everybody feels that way.
He's riding on board here with Kyler McCarthy, currently your second place position. See, up in front of them, I want to say that is Stan Mayberry and Robbie Bice. So you see both Stan Mayberry and Robbie Bice move up to that top lane. They are going to go a lap down, but this is not the end of the race for anybody that goes a lap down right now. We did see, you know, a lot of, the Nitro guys come down pit lane early, and, you know, if they come down pit lane now, you know, I want to say if Stan Mayberry and Robbie Bice can link up with these guys and just kind of ride the coattails, you know, they'll be the first ones off of the lead lap once these Nitro guys come down pit lane, so they could set up some kind of strategy here, that 48 and that 28 right now. As we'll go back here and see what is going on with Ken Baum Jr., Jimmy Barr, William Hobart, all behind him. You see Lucas Nilges, Nick Cannon, Michael Zuver, all right here in that little bit of a pack. And then you see Bill Hells right behind him. Shane Weldon is currently leading the pack with Chris Lynn, Andrew May, Ryan Broderick, Kip Easley, Don DeGroot. And I want to say Daniel Holdcroft is the last one on the lead lap. You see Ryan Sword back there in front of Daniel Holdcroft, but he is not on the lead lap. So currently not battling for position is Ryan Sword.
Yeah, but these guys up front, Chris, they're trying to make it look like a 1980 NASCAR race here at Daytona. These guys are wanting to stretch the field out, and hey, nobody gets an opportunity besides the guys up here in the lead pack. And if that means having to put a couple drivers a lap down or two, hey, they're more than willing to do it. It seems like these Nitro guys are on a mission. And at lap 55, Chris, you got to expect or got to think, how is that strategy working? Are they going to be able to make it to the end? I would assume so. These guys are very smart. They, like you said, Susie and Co. very knowledgeable on the making the late run pit stops work, or the early run pit stops, or sometimes, like you said, Chris, not even pitting at all. I would expect these Nitro guys definitely got a good handle and a good idea of what they're doing here, and I would assume it's going to plan here with no green or no caution flags. But I'm not going to knock on wood yet, because it could happen still. I will knock on wood is what I meant to say, because it could still happen.
Yeah, as you're seeing Robbie Bice starting to slowly fall off. I don't know if he's got a little bit of damage on that front right of his machine, but he is starting to lose a lot of speed to Stan Mayberry. Stan Mayberry's still all over that back bumper of Jane Binger, excuse me. So we're going to see if Robbie Bice can catch up, but it does, like I said, it looks like he has fallen off of that draft. I don't know. Wonder how long the 62 is going to stay out in the front pack, though. We did see Jaden Bingaman cycle back to that rear part of the pack. He was running out in the lead, so that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering how long this 62 is going to stay out in the lead, and if Kyle McCarthy is going to move up into the lead, so that way they can start saving a little bit of fuel.
62 of Kevin Gibney got really close on the corner there. He took a big shot from that 24 Kyle McCarthy and boosted on the corner straightaway. They're going to turn 3 here at lap 57, Chris. These Nitro guys. George Wood, that's who Susie was talking about. I heard him say you disappeared. They're asking George Wood to go high. As
I see in the Thunderdome, William Brown has said at Matthew Fitz is the worst.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
So teammates calling teammates out in the Thunderdome.
Oh, goodness. There he comes back out on the track, Chris. He's looking for the 69. Oh, he got loose there. Like he
Yeah.
was getting up on the gas and it got him.
Hopefully he did not
He was trying
exceed
to page the field.
track limits as we're riding on board here with Ken Baum. As I was seeing the ticker starting to get a little crazy back here. They're done with this single file stuff. They're like, all right, guys, we got to go. Lucas Nilge's on that outside lane. Got Nick Cannon, Michael Zuver right behind him. So this Team Sparkle Unicorn guys that are still together are going to try to make a little bit of movement, but you don't want to be where Nick Cannon is on the track if Michael Zuber was to get up there and push. Lucas Nilge is going to go ahead and assume that 7th position, at least for now, Ken Baum.
I wouldn't expect the Sparkle Unicorn guys to make the jump down to the bottom lane unless that 96 is clear, and I want to say he's clear by a country mile now, and they are. They're going to jump to that inside lane. 96 is now Team Sparkle Unicorn controlled. We'll see if they're going to be able to get that momentum rolling now in that inside lane. Maybe they thought the 2 Ken Baum Jr. just wasn't getting the so they just started going here, and it looks like that when Stan Mayberry absorbed himself up into that Chad Ingram defense group as they were passing him, it really killed Robbie Bice's run, and he lost the pack.
Yeah, Josh, that's what I was noticing. I don't know if that 28 machine has any damage on the front of his car, as we'll see if we can see it in this. I don't see any damage on the front right of it, just might be falling off of the pace. Unfortunately there for the 28. Was showing a really strong running here tonight.
You're on these super speedways, so caution here, and then another caution can bring some of these guys back on the lead lap. Chris, don't count them out, that's for sure.
Well, he's still, like I said, we've still got these nitro guys that have to come down pit lane. Whoa, as you see Kevin Gibney getting a little down there on that yellow line. Not something you want to see is your lead driver getting loose out of the corner.
Yeah, I gotta wonder, at the start of the run, they were saving gas. That's why Matt was catching them when they first came down pit road and undercut the field.
Yeah, as right now you're seeing Matthew Fitz, Brody Green, and Kevin Click about to get lapped, but I'm not sure.
Maybe that's why I know they're not going to save like 40 laps on the field, a couple of laps.
I don't know. I will say this though.
We'll have to see. I can sit here all day, all night, questioning what they're doing and why they're doing it, but I'm not going to get the answer until the checkered flag drops.
Down pit lane.
Right there. There they are. Yeah, I was about to say. Down pit road.
Nitro coming down pit lane.
That answers all of our questions, guys. There we go. I knew they were going to pit. I was just testing y'all in the chat to see if y'all would respond back. Like, come on, they're going to pit. I don't see anybody in there, so gotcha.
See if everybody.
Just kidding about that, but yeah, Chris, like you're about to say, everybody's going to have to get down pit road and get it perfect here to get back on.
William Hobart, Jimmy Barr, all coming down pit lane. So this is going to give Lucas Nilge's, Nick Cannon, Michael Zuver, and then you see Bill Hells right behind him. Going to move themselves up into this top 5. Kevin Gibney and co on their way out. So Nitro currently working their way out onto the track. William Hobart is still in pit lane down there for 22 seconds right now. Bill Hell's now starting to catch that lead pack. He's going to be able to get back up here to the back bumper of Michael Zuver, at least stay in that 4th spot. And you see right behind him, about 19 seconds back, Shane Weldon Sr., Bill Hell's teammate, is currently leading Chris Lynn and Andrew May of the Turn 2 Terribles out of Turn 4 into the front tri-oval. You see Ryan Broderick, Kim Easley, Don DeGroot, Daniel Holdcroft all behind them. And Josh, this is something that we're going to have to see. You're going to have to see these guys get tucked back up together. Right now, they are spread all over the track. We saw as soon as they came out of pit lane last pit stop, they were bumper to bumper the entire time around the track. But there for a minute, they were kind of spread out. So that I was wondering if maybe they were just trying to get caught up with each other. But that's going to probably kill some time for them.
Didn't pick out everything Ryan Broderick said, but he said something about him and his pack might just be cruising waiting for a caution. He's kind of waiting for a caution here.
So right now, we'll ride on board here with that 5 machine of Ryan Broderick. We'll go and see from his point of view just what's going on here in this mid-pack. Currently sitting in that 8th position is Ryan Broderick. So you see a little bit of distance between him and, as I was saying, that Kip Easley just popped back in behind him.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't there. I was like, man, they got a big gap there, and he's moving. Kip Easley just reappears.
Seeing you're not really hearing any lifting or anything going on, minus the occasional, if you run up to the back bumper, but you're going to be pretty much wide open. But I will say this though, Josh, as when we were racing here in the Xfinity cars, I know it's a different gas tank, different engines, all that stuff. It's gas savings going to be different in every car. But I will say I was running 3rd in line, and anytime I would go into turns 2 or 4, I would just push my foot on the clutch. Coast behind him, lose a little bit of speed, and as soon as I'd start seeing him just to slowly pull away, I'd just take my foot off the clutch, keep going. And I noticed that I'd actually saved 4 laps in about 6 laps. So I mean, it can happen. You just it's going to be a make or break for you. You have to stay on that draft, and I'm wondering if that's something that maybe Robbie Bice was doing in that 28 machine, just maybe trying to do a little bit of gas saving and it come back and bite him in the rear.
I think when they went to blend in with that pack, Stan just did so much. I think Robbie might have had a moment where he maybe had to step out of the gas or something, and he just wasn't able to recover after that. It's like the last car in the
right.
Factory, I do. When there's nobody behind you and the only people that are around you are leaving you out front. It's a hopeless feeling. It's like watching your mom, which I don't have any actual real life occurrences of this happening. This is just metaphorically speaking. But oh, sorry about that. It might be the way I'm sitting in my chair. Do I sound the same now? Sorry about that. I was definitely coasting up the chair. Think about watching the drivers leave off in front of you, and you're getting held back, and you can't go any faster than what the car is going. You push the gas pedal down more. They delinked there a little bit. Lucas Nilson's allowed Nick Kennedy and stuff. But what I was going to say, Chris, is imagine you're standing at the gas station and watching your mom just drive off. She thinks you're in the back seat, but you're not. And you're just standing there with your gummy bears and your Dr. Pepper. It's going to be a good 20 minutes. Until she doesn't come back, you're just a little hopeless. It's what it almost feels like when you're in that, Robbie Bice position, just hopeless, man. It's like, come on, dude. Can somebody just please pick me up? Can you just spawn a car in front of me running my speed and just get me back some momentum? It stinks, man.
Especially at a track like this, a long track like Daytona.
You're only going like 170, and they're going like 190. So it just stinks. Like 180, something like that.
Yeah, right now Stan Mayberry is going 191. Robbie Bice is running about 186. So seeing about a 4 mile an hour difference between that 24th and 25th position. We're just going to kind of cycle back here. We're seeing Lucas Nilsson, Nick Cannon, Zuver, and Bill Hells all just running single file. So we're going to ride on board here and just see what's going on in this close little battle.
They could be coming down pit road this time. I heard him either say at the end of this lap or the end of next lap. They're coming down pit road. There's Shane Weldon pack. Oh, look at that. Ask and you shall receive. Michael Self and Robbie Bice are linked up. Let's go. Yeah, I want to say it would be next lap. Then they said they're coming down pit road. As Kip Easley, Donna Groot, and Daniel Holdcroft, they all decided to come down this time.
So keep an eye on Kip Easley, Donna Groot, and Daniel Holdcroft. See if they can get back out and blend. Get caught up here, make up some positions, but right now a lot of these drivers are really just kind of separated out, and that's not something you want to see. As I say that, we go back here to 5th place and beyond, and it's just a jam-packed traffic jam right now. You got the Nitro guys on fresher tires trying to run that fresher stop, all linked up together trying to make up as much time as they can.
They are moving on that outside lane.
They are. They're making up a lot of
time. They're not coming down the end of that lap. I thought they were. This time.
So that 98 is Shane Weldon. waving that Virgil hand out the window saying, all right, guys, I'm coming down pit lane now, as you're seeing the Nitro guys just kind of blow past everybody else. As we'll go back up here on board.
Shane Weldon, Chris Lynn, Andrew May, Ryan Brock.
Robbie Bice, Ryan Sword, and Michael Self also in this pack. So you're going to have about 7 or 8 drivers coming down pit lane right now. Everybody has to hit their marks. That is the key to pit stops. Looks like everybody did get into pit lane without any issues. I didn't see anybody backing up or anything like that. So Chris Lynn, Ryan Broderick, Shane Weldon, Andrew May, Robbie Bice, Ryan Sword, and Michael Self all on their way out right now. It's good to see Matthew Fitz still in the 12th position, though, after having actually, now that I'm thinking about it, how in the world is he in 12th position?
Just getting back to the field, baby.
Man, it's some cheats. Matthew Fitz is cheating. Just kidding, just messing with you.
He's gonna no clutch and then just appear back in front of the leaders.
As we're seeing right now, Lucas Nilges, Nick Cannon, Zuver, and Bill Hills.
Did Shane Weldon just call that he was pitting in again? Yeah, I think Shane Weldon got caught speeding down pit road, man. Go, do not collect $200.
Unfortunate for that 98 machine. He was having such a good race car here tonight.
And that's not a get out of jail free card, Chris. You can't get no black flags cleared here.
It's unfortunate for that 98 machine. Currently still sitting down pit lane. Should be a 30-second, nope, just a 15-second. Wonder if he was caught speeding. Maybe went across the line. Could be something like that.
I would assume it's speeding.
So right now, Josh, we've only got 26 laps to go here, and it is only 9:08. This is going by way faster than I thought it would be whenever I was thinking about this earlier.
You said that, now we're about to
See William Brown trying to fight for that position on that inside lane, but you're seeing that inside lane just not linked up. Those Nitro guys are just bumper to bumper trying to hold on. As you're seeing that 33, Joshua Gaiman go all the way up there, almost up against the wall, but was able to bring it back down. I know if you're in that 9 machine of William Brown, though, you are definitely punching yourself in the thigh right now. Having a good running race car, and then, you know, just a bad push. You know, it wasn't anything nefarious or bad. You know, nobody did anything that they weren't supposed to. Whoa, this is going to mess everything up.
That was sketchy.
This is not where those Nitro guys want to be. We're going 3 wide down the backstretch right now.
That was Chris Lynn out in front of Kevin Gabney, didn't he?
Whoa. Chris Lynn got bumped.
We're going to get a call.
Nitro guys are all split up right now. Chris Lynn on that inside lane. You see he is currently the driver in that 4th place, not 4th place on the track, but 4th position on that we're looking at right now. As I want to say Michael Self down the lane right now. But yeah, these Nitro guys.
Yeah, it's about to get sketchy here.
These Nitro guys are getting all out of whack. You see that outside lane. Jaden Bingham's got Joshua Susi right behind him. And you see Kip Easley on the end of that train. Yeah, this is where if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen here in the next couple of laps, because these guys are getting all kinds of dicey up here right now.
The lanes are separated, so it's allowing the outside lane to kind of hang on still.
Whoa, as you see Shane Weldon go down there behind his teammate Robbie Bice. Maybe got a little bit of loose, maybe got little loose, excuse me, because we know that these cars, they like to aero push and also like to take the air off of the spoiler, and the rear end will just get really loose on it, as right now you're seeing.
Oh my, I swear they're about to. Oh my goodness, how are they holding on?
These Nitro guys are trying to hang on to this top lane.
Oh, they're wrecking behind. They're wrecking behind. Not sure who that was.
William Brown. Speak and ye shall receive. Let's see what happened here with that William Brown machine. You see he's on that middle lane. That is definitely not where you want to be, especially in a corner. You'll see, yeah, you just see probably had a little bit of probably got a little loose. We'll see if we can ride on board here with him here in a second, see what happened from his point of view. But he's in that sandwich right there. It looks like maybe he just misjudged. Oh, the 61 of Don DeGroot, just nowhere to go. Innocent bystander in that. As we'll see if we can see it from William Brown's point of view. He probably just thought he was clear. Oh, he was able to keep it off of the wall, though.
Yeah, not sure, Chris, what happened there. I mean, maybe could have thought he was clear of the 31, like he said, trying to file in behind him, but not sure. I don't think there was any tightness or looseness aspect there. It didn't seem like the car was out of whack. Did we see people come down pit road under this caution?
As I just see fenders and bumpers laying in the middle of the road. I was wondering what was going on there, but it doesn't look like anything happened up in the front. As this is something you do not want to see if you're that Nick Cannon Zuver machine. But Lucas Nilge's, oh, that's what happened. I wonder if he had a blow, or no, what happened to Lucas Nilge's? I did see a bumper. I see the front wheel is turned all the way, like that is a tie rod gone. Let's see if we can see.
What happened?
Yeah, I'm having to completely rewind this because I don't know where this happened at. I have no markers.
Oh, there it is. No? Oh, there it is.
Oh, the Sparkle Unicorn guys had a problem.
Yeah, I didn't even see this happen.
Yeah, we didn't even see that. That's where the bumper came from on the front straightaway. Oh. Oh my goodness, that is a bad, bad, bad hit. I know it doesn't look like much. But it depends on what kind of wheel you have. Matthew Fitz, Kim Baum, Kevin Click, Brody Green, Chad Ingles, Stan Mayberry, all down pit lane. We'll see if we can just see what happened here with Nick Cannon. It looks like just was a bad push.
He's getting pushed while pushing. Might have just caused him to get into a D-link or a unlinked.
See him right there pushing, bump,
right
bump,
there, he
bump.
takes a shove. Right before he took it into the back bumper, he took a shove as well. So 94 gives him a shot right before they go bumping around. It looks like maybe could also been just him checking up after he bumped him, and not sure, but. It did just seem like it was a case of just a bad push, Chris.
Yeah, so this is gonna hurt the Sparkle Unicorn guys. They did come down pit lane, so they're gonna fall back just a little bit. Now that's two Sparkle Unicorn guys that are down and out. You've got William Brown, who took a nasty shot, and then you also saw Lucas Nilge's take a very massive shot. So like I said, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, they're just, it's just a video game. They're fine. I wish it were that way, you know, especially if depending on what kind of rig that 3 machine is using. If I mean, you know, if it's like me and you're using a Logitech G920, it ain't that bad. It'll just hurt your thumbs. But if you're using a direct drive or something like a belt-driven wheel, like my brother uses, those things can break your wrist just from a bump, like somebody coming up and dooring you. Like it can snap your wrist, and people have broken body parts sim racing. So
I've seen a dude break his finger inside of a Formula rim on his sim rig. It snapped around, and when it snapped, it went down on his thumb, and it bang, broke the thumb. I've also seen people like try to stop the wheel while it's spinning, and the spokes on like the big NASCAR wheels, you know, just your typical spoke steering wheel, 3-spoke. They'll chop your fingers and cut you open. Maybe not break them, but a lot of people get cut. I mean, it's not like we're out here saying that you got to go to the hospital. You're in dire need of attention, but you can definitely get a couple little bumps and bruises there. You know, something to hurt your ego when you go to work tomorrow. What happened to you? Nothing. I got into a wreck on a video game. Sorry, a simulator, racing simulator. You know, if I say video game, I might have like some purists come at me sideways. So try to avoid that. But we're gonna get back on board here, Chris. We should see going back to green here after this next lap.
I'm just gonna say this though, right now we've got it'll be 18 laps to go by the time we hit the stripe again. I'm gonna say that you know, if anybody watches UFC, boxing, or whatever, just imagine you got your gloves on, you just, you know, rip your arms down real quick and just shake them off, like just sling them off your hands. That's pretty much what all these drivers are doing now, because that's what you have to do. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to make up whatever time you can, and it's kind of like I heard somebody earlier say, I'll wreck anybody and everybody I can to get a win. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, this is Daytona, baby. Anything can happen.
Chris, I'll give you a better analogy to use for the gloves off thing. It's like a hockey player. Gloves are coming off, baby. You're ready to
there you
the
go. There you go.
Like you said, though, it's about to be some bare knuckle action. These guys are gonna have elbows out. They're going to be racing here. This is going to be fun, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and brought it all back.
And look at what we have right now. We've got Kevin Gibney, who isn't technically a Nitro guy, if I'm correct. I want to say that these guys are like Robbie talked to me about it, saying that drivers were being invited into the league and whatnot, and racing with certain teams. If I'm wrong, Kevin, if you are a part of Nitro, I do apologize. I know the last time we talked to, I want to say Susie, he said that Gaiman wasn't an official. He was an official, unofficial member.
Yeah, it's more those. They're running with the teams. You know, it's almost like, think of it as a sister manufacturer. Or not sister manufacturer, sister team. You know, you got the Penske guys and whatever other Ford teams are out there that you supply parts to them. They're going to help you out as well. Think of it in that sense. They're Nitro-ish, but they're just running the setups and the parts. You know, hey, we're not fully on Nitro yet. But like you said, if they are on it, do apologize, and hey, welcome to the team in the league, guys. But you know, I gotta say, we're gonna have to start charging the Nitro guys $150 a head. They keep bringing into the league. They keep bringing all these guys in here. They're gonna make us look like a bunch of fools, man. Got a bunch of aliens coming out that Nitro team.
I hate the pit strategy.
We're good old Weaver Valley Speedway, Chris. You can cheat as long as you pay the cheating fee.
Oh man, good old Weaver Valley.
Hey, best dang racetrack in the South, son.
Amen to that.
We'll get back here to some green flag racing. Chris, is it green? It's going to be Kevin Gibney Jr. That 16 machine's done a great job here tonight in that inside lane, like you said, Chris, starting to roll off. But we're going to have to see how these Nitro guys are going to try to form back up here. I would assume Susie, is going to go to the outside lane. They're going to pick up some speed here. They're completely leaving that 12 machine to Jimmy Barr, but if he gets a big push here from that big 3 Bill Hells, which he is, this could throw a wrench in those Nitro guys still. They might still only have 4 cars come down. 2 of them are going to be split up.
Yeah, we're seeing Matthew Fitz now back into that 11th position. That inside lane starting to stack up. Got a lot of Nitro guys on that outside lane, though, so that's something we're going to have to watch here with 18 to go.
looked like for a second that inside lane was going to make the momentum to get up beside it, but going into the corner, doesn't see Gavin, Smill, Susie, and Gibney Jr. all up there. Excuse me, it's Gibney, Smill, Susie, and Gavin. I said Gavin in first place. Bingaman and Connor McCarthy. Those guys up here in those nitro cars.
Yeah, and you see Michael Zuver, Matthew Fitz, Nick Cannon also behind him. I want to say the 25 a click. No, that is, yeah, the 25 a click just tucked in behind him. And also the 2 of Ken Baum Jr. just tucked into the top lane. So we've seen a lot of drivers run this outside lane. Maybe that inside lane is just not where everybody wants to be.
Yeah, this inside lane just doesn't seem to be able to get a grip on running here together. These guys are all over the place, really allowing this outside lane to just pretty much become dominant. It is a lot more cars in that outside lane, but right now, Chris, they're working very well together. It seems like they're just going to continue here and come into lap 85. 16 laps to go. We're going to have to just see how they're going to take it down lap by lap. I mean, it's almost a minute long each lap. Anything can happen in the next 15.
Anything can happen in the next 5.
Yeah, in the next 30 seconds. I mean, who knows? Daytona's one of those tracks that you never know what's going to happen. And saying that, look at that. I said it, and it happened. It's going to be the 35 of Chad Engel around. Big wreck. Andrew May's going to take a big shot. Kevin Click still wrecking. There's bumpers flying everywhere. Yard sale. Everybody go get a free one.
Yeah, as it looks like just coming out of turn 2, I saw about 4 wrecks happening all at once there.
I was about to say, isn't it funny? I said anything can happen, and as I'm saying that, they're just going everywhere.
We're going to have to blockbuster rewind here. No markers on the track just
Don't
because
know how.
Just because there was about 500 wrecks going on. As we're going to watch it, I'm going to see if we can see that first one. As you're seeing Susie just dive down, that's going to throw everybody up there in that top lane out of mix. You're going to see Joshua Gaiman get into the wall, and then that's going to check that outside lane up. You'll see the 25 of Kevin Click come down into the 35 of Chad Engel, and then nowhere to go is Kip Easley. He's going to end up being collected in that. You're also going to see
took the brute of that.
You're also going to see Ken Baum getting involved in it, and then
May.
right there, Andrew May getting into it, just nowhere to go. And then you see Robbie Bice just skating on by down there on that bottom lane.
Same as Shane Weldon, he was able to get by as well.
As we're right on board here.
Stan Mayberry gets by as well. Yeah, let's go on board here. See what happens with these guys at the front. You see that outside lane, Chris, like you said, get super out of whack, right? As they're coming off the exit of 2 here.
As we'll go slow-mo just so that way we can see it unfold. As you see right there, Kevin Click is already checking out as well. And you see Susie move down just a little bit. And then that's probably going to – that's where everybody behind him says, oh, no, everybody's checking up. And then you see Ken Baum just get into – looks like maybe getting into the back of Kevin Click, and that's what sent him around.
Man, and Ken Baum – or not Ken Baum, excuse me. Kip Easley was just wrong place, wrong time. Everybody else in front of him, behind him. So a lot of drivers behind him go pretty much unscathed, but he's just in that one spot where you cannot do anything. You are just stuck there. No matter how much lifting you do, brake slamming, you're going to get caught up at some point in that spot where Kip Easley is. So unfortunate for our 3-2 driver there, man, going off the deep end, man.
We're watching it on board from Robbie Bice. You see everything getting a little mixed up there. And that's pretty much, actually, you know what? We'll see it from, we'll go on board here with Andrew May, actually, since he,
that big shot.
He did take that big shot. Just see how fast it happens. Their car in front of you, there's really nothing you can do.
And he was so close to getting through that, man.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe if he would have lifted just a little bit earlier, he has the reaction time. He lifts, I think, just a half second too late.
But see, that's what you're saying. Like, everything just
kind of... right here, he's still in it. With all the smoke and all that, I think he should have backed out right there. Because if he backs out, he has more than enough time to react to that machine. I'm not saying it's Andrew May's fault by any means. That's out of Andrew May's control, and I mean, a lot of people around him stayed in it too and got through it, so not faulting him for what he did, but that just shows if you just maybe see that accident happening in front of you and you know it's going to be a caution flag, it doesn't hurt to back out of the gas. You're not going to lose position on track. You're going to get it back with the caution period. So just take that into mind if you're watching this and you think, man, why do I keep getting caught up in all the big ones? Well, maybe try to check out of the gas sometimes when you see him going sideways. But Andrew May, just unfortunate for him, man. That was one of those spots, Chris, nothing you can do. And I'm just using that more or less for a learning lesson for some of the, maybe the drivers out there in the chat who don't drive too much. or get much experience or understand where they're going wrong in the wrecks. That could be one of those things. I mean, and like I said, Andrew May did nothing wrong. We're not going to use him as this laughing example saying, oh, you messed up, haha, because he didn't. It's one of those things of coming through that spot of the track, you're in it, you saw Stan Mayberry staying in it, and in your mind, a lot of people either check up or they think, man, I got to hit the Days of Thunder. We're going through the smoke full throttle, and if I miss it, I miss it. If I hit it, I hit it. And that's a good strategy. You have to do that a lot of times on these tracks, but, sometimes it might help if you just lift out just a half a second earlier.
Well,
I think
like I said,
he might have been able to react to it, but he probably also didn't expect the 35 and Chad Ingle to come flying across the track like a pinball. So what else can you really do there, Chris?
That's what I was about to say. In a driver's defense, everything, like, yeah, we can sit here and say, yeah, you could have done this, you could have done that.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20, and is why that saying is there.
I will say this, as a driver, sometimes stuff just happens so fast that it's out of your control. And honestly, I think that whole thing was just a cluster of crazy. I won't say the actual word.
Yeah, it was a big old kerfuffle, Chris. I mean, I feel bad for Andrew May, man. He's been hanging on here, had himself back in a position where we had a caution or two here. He might be able to get himself back onto something. No. I'm not sure how many laps he was down. I want to say he was 2 or 3 laps down, but still, anything could happen. But nothing's probably going to be happening now for that 22 machine. Big shot. I want to say it's virtually going to end his night, Chris.
Yeah, and one of those drivers, whenever we were at Sonoma, we had the turn 2 terrible guys sitting in the I don't remember what turn it was, but they gave us some they gave us some free cameras and everything. I just it's one of those things that there's a lot of drivers names that I see in this list that I just know, man, if they just could get out of that mess, we could see a lot of different people up here. But it's just, that's one of those things that comes with this territory.
It's one of those things, Chris, when you play a sport, somebody's always got to be the brute of something, and it's one of those things of when you're in a big field like this, 30 cars, the RNG is insane. And if you're not sure what RNG is, random number generators, but think in a sense of anything can happen. It's just anything's random in a pack like this, and sometimes you just draw that unfortunate hand more than others, as we'll see it. But hopefully, we'll get some fortunate things here going as these drivers are looking to have a good run here. As Kevin Gibney Jr. going to get out to a big start there on that inside lane and move up to that outside as we're going to get back to green flag racing here. And Chris, we're about to be to 10 laps to go here in the next 2.
Yeah, Bill Hell's moved himself back up into that outside lane. Is that full throttle racing driver? Also, like you said, Josh, won the opening race here for Full Throttle. So this is going to be interesting to see if Bill Hells can do a 1-2 and walk away with another win here. As we're seeing Josh Susi, David Smil, and Kevin Gibney just giving a big shove to each other, trying to get as much space as they can. That inside lane just does not look like it's working out here tonight.
Yeah, that inside lane has working for these guys with these nitro drivers.
Jaden Bingaman got loose.
Whoa, that's Nick Cannon. Oh, slow her down. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Good save, buddy.
I know you didn't want to have to do that, Nick. I know you would have much rather gassed it up and just wiped the field out NASCAR Thunder 2003 style, because you hate it when that happens, but way to slow her down, Nick. Get her back on track, man. Hate it for Nick Cannon, man. These guys are all just falling out. Matthew Spence said, strap in. It's time for me to take the Sparker Unicorn reins to the top.
See if this inside lane.
I'm going to prove William Brown wrong.
Oh, man, this is starting to get testy here. Oh, my goodness. I'm seeing a lot of cars going, especially Jaden Bingaman right now. He is all out of sorts back now. He's currently on that middle lane. See if he gets hung out. Looks like he's going to get hung out just a little bit right now. See him tucked back up in there. But Jaden Bingaman just not having the best night. I saw him getting pushed a couple of times, getting loose back there. Because right now, Bill Hell's moved himself down to that bottom lane. He's got Matthew Fitz pushing him. You see 3 wide action back there right now. Is
Well,
want
that's
to
the
say,
24 Colin McCarthy getting hung out to dry.
yeah, he's gonna have to. You see him move real quick up there behind his teammate Jaden Bingham, and he just got hung out to dry in that middle lane. That's something that happens here. Bill Hell's pushed himself out into the lead.
Bill Hell's the 53 machine back out in the lead. Chris, this is coming down to the wire here. We have 8 or 9 laps to go, 8.5 now as we're coming down the back straightaway. And look at that on the outside lane. Who it is, Chris?
I'm gonna say that's a 2 of Ken Baum.
No, that is the 69 of Matthew Fitz.
No, I'm saying who's basically hung out to dry right now. I see it's a turn 2 terribles.
No, that's not Ken Baum.
Chris Lynn. No, not Chris Lynn. I cannot see who that is.
Is it goodness gracious, why can't I think of his name right now? Not Chris Lynn. Hobart? Is it William Hobart?
Oh, bump in the corner there from Zuver.
Whoa!
Ken Baum gonna take that outside lane. So we've got Ken Baum, Jimmy Barr. Right now, Stan Mayberry up in that 5th position.
What happened to Nitro, Chris? They completely have just lost control of this race.
Yeah, right now they're currently sitting 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Oh, excuse me, 11th is Ryan Broderick.
Who is that getting hung out to dry? Is that Shane Weldon? That's Ken Baum Jr.
Ken Baum stuck out on the outside lane.
One after the other, Chris. You make the wrong move, you fall back. That's what you do here. One wrong move on that outside or middle lane is going to just push you back.
Ooh,
like you got a parachute on your back. Ooh, this is gonna get testy here, Chris.
You saw the 32. They're getting a little loose. That's Chris Lynn, currently not battling for position. Is that 32 machine in that 3rd position? Well, currently sitting 3rd if you're looking at him right now. He is currently...
But he's got a Tier 2 Terramos teammate in 2nd place, so don't blame him for being here.
Zuver loose.
Those Nitro guys are pushing that outside lane.
Whoa.
32's going to get
hung out.
Here.
Nope, he went back down to the bottom lane.
Oh, my goodness. I just realized that's Stan Mayberry in 6th position.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, top lane getting loose.
Oh, Stan with a push to the 32. 98 going to come back to Stan here. This inside lane is getting all out of whack. I bet you they want that 32 out of their way. Yeah, that 32 is slowing them up big time here. Michael Zuver is going to move himself out into the lead. Here comes Nitro, Chris.
Whoa!
Oh, the 12 out. 69, they're going to get it wound back up. Goodness gracious, these guys are all over the place.
Damn, if you're Jimmy Barr, you are definitely needing to change your underwear right now. And he just got loose down there on the bottom lane, and he's still pushing.
5 laps to go, Chris.
5 laps to go. Oh my god, I'm basically just knees on my elbow, or elbows on my knees, bent over, looking at my screen. This is just insane right now.
Yeah, and it's only going to get crazier, right? As Bill Hells moved all the way back to 11th, man, leading this race back to 11th. Well, there it goes. Around Ken Baum Jr. That's going to bring out the caution. Big trouble as they go into the corner. Man, that's a lot of good race cars. Is that Bill Hells?
Bill Hells involved, yeah.
Man, Bill Hells, Brody Green, Jimmy Barr, Ken Baum Jr., and it looks like possibly Chad Engel all going to be caught up in that.
Oh, man, unfortunate for that 53 machine. He was looking like he had the fastest race car out here tonight.
I don't like the way the camera went upside down on us like that.
As you'll see right there, you see everybody. It looks like Ken Baum just got into the back of, I want to say that's Kevin Gibney.
No, the 13 got in the back of Ken Baum. Took Ken Baum around. Oh, no, you're right. Gibney was there. The guy hit. You're right. I didn't see that he hit Gibney. It looked like they were not as much linked up. But, yeah, he took a shot, like you said, and then he gave a shot to Gibney. It doesn't look like Gibney got out of sorts, though. He was able to keep it going. Very lucky from that Kevin Gibney Jr. machine, but look at that, Chris. Look at that carnage going on right there. Stan Mayberry, is he going to get through this?
Never even moved.
I'm telling you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. He's going to hit the back of that 32, right?
Yeah, he might have a little bit of front end damage. We'll have to see. He's down to 145, so he was definitely slowing down. But yeah, he slowed down big time when he saw that car coming off the apron.
To see if we can ride on board here, the 13 of William Hobart, see if we can see what happened here. We see it looks like there's the bump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
there's the bump. And then you see the 62 get a little bit of out of shape. And then there's really nowhere to go. Jimmy Barr getting into it.
Oh, yeah, we got a whole collection of drivers disconnecting now, Chris. I don't think Mayberry's going to have big damage from that. I think he should get away fine here. The real question is, are we going to get a green-white checkered?
Doesn't.
Lucky Dog is coming around, Chris, so we're about to be back.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of front-end damage on that car.
A little bit of splitter damage. I mean, it could not affect him. It could kill this whole race. We're just going to have to see, man. But so far, you gotta give it to him, Chris. Stan coming back from almost being put a lap down where his teammate was, all the way back up into the top 10, was running 6th there. You got to give it to Stan, man. Hell of a race here tonight.
I will agree. It was fortunate. You know, I always say it's right place, right time. Stan was just in the right place at the right time. You didn't even see him move. You saw him go down the track just a little bit, but he just stayed in it. He started slowing up. Yeah, he did get in the back of, I want to say Chris Lynn, but, you know, that little bit of front-end damage, as long as you stay tucked up to somebody, you'll be good.
And you know what's so awesome, Chris, when you're driving this race car? The human eyes and the brain can dictate, or not dictate, but you know what I'm trying to say, can look at the wreck and be like, oh, that guy's definitely not going to come in my path. And you can know, okay, I can stay in this all the way. Isn't it crazy that you can watch that all unfold? It unfolds in a matter of milliseconds. It all happens so fast, and the brain can process all of it and find the right line and usually hit it. Or sometimes you just know, I'm not making it, but I got to try, and you don't make it. So it's one of those things. Isn't it crazy how the brain can just tell your eyes, and your eyes can tell your brain instantly, process all that information, make your hands and feet do it instantly, and save the race car? It's just crazy to me that in such a short amount of time, you can make that type of reaction. And like you said, Stan didn't even have a reaction. Dude stayed cold-blooded and just drove through that wreck right there. So it's just crazy to me. I know I got a little bit off there with a science project, but I just thought about that, man. You got to think how fast the human body works to tell you what's going on in front of you, and you're able to process it so quickly and get through the accident. So excellent job there from Stan Mayberry. He's got a good thinking cap on him, obviously. And we'll have to see what's going to go on here with Michael Zuver, David Smill. They're going to be bringing out the pack on this first attempt out of 3 for the green-white checkered lap 99 of what will now be 101 laps if we get this first green-white checkered in. We're going to have to see how it's going to play out, Chris. We've got Michael Zuber, David Smill Jr., Joshua Susi, Joshua Gaiman, and Jaden Bingham. A lot of J's up there in the top 5, as we'll see Kyle McCarthy, Kevin Gibney Jr., Matthew Fitz, Stan Mayberry, and Ryan Broderick will be your top 10. Nick Cannon, Chad Engel, Brody Green, and Don DeGroot, your 11th through 14th, and the last car's on the lead lap here. So,
as I see Carl Fitz in the YouTube chat saying that this is one of the best races we've seen, I agree with you, Carl. This has been a fun race.
Has been an excellent race, man, and they've kept it, you know, pretty much scotch-free, Chris. I mean, virtually, we've had almost no accidents here. I mean, for a race at Daytona, for sure. I mean, we're so used to seeing, you know, lap 1, 17 cars getting taken out in the first lap on iRacing at Daytona. So for these guys to go 2 cautions here, 99 laps, I got to say they've done a hell of a job here.
Well, you know, it goes to show that if you just sit and race with the same person over and over and over, eventually you start picking up, you know, and you start learning how to drive around each other, and that's what you're starting to see. A lot of these drivers are starting to get comfortable around each other. Even though they sit and yell at each other in Thunderdome all day, they still get on the track, and they try to put as much respect as they can behind it. So it's good to see, you know, just all these drivers get out here and still week in and week out trying to do this.
And don't mix the Cuddle Dome with the Thunderdome. If you do that, you may be punished to death. As the iRacing pace car is going to turn left, Chris, and it's going to be the battle of who's going to get the most positions here and win this race, probably, as we'll see Michael Zuver hit the restart zone. Green, 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 and they are going. I was a little bit behind there on my restart zone, but so far so good from that inside lane. But I'm expecting this outside lane to pick up a lot of momentum here. Josh Susi and Jaden Bingham looks like that Kevin Gibney Jr. machine also going to get hung down on that inside lane. So the rest of the Nitro guys are going to be able to take off and move here.
Yeah, let's see if this outside lane can help the 81 and the 27 get out of it. Did you see Zuver go up to block the 27?
Yeah, but Jaden Bingham's going to get a big run here to Zuver. I think Zuver should have stayed on the inside lane there, because these Nitro guys are not going to help him. Oh, they're already wrecking. Is that Andrew May and Robbie Bice?
As I
That's
didn't
exactly what that was.
I didn't see, it looks like I didn't see any markers. We'll have to rewind it and see what happened. Looks like going into the corner here. It looks like Andrew May might have gotten a little sideways. See if we can see it from a different point of view. Let's see, we'll ride on board here with.
Did he come down on the 28?
Yeah, we'll
Or
ride
they
on.
just kind of meet in the middle lane there?
I'm trying to find Don DeGroot on the track. There he is. We'll see if we can see it from his point of view.
I mean, I gotta say, I think Andrew May drove down onto him, because look where the car in front of him, tail lights are in comparison to his. He's above that right seam. He's below the middle seam. So, yeah, I would say Andrew May just probably drove it down on that front bumper a little bit.
But at this part of the race, it doesn't hurt, I guess. You've already used up everything now, so. Happens, it happens.
That's going to let Josh Susie assume the lead here, though, with Jaden Bingham and David Smill. Kevin Gibney right behind him. Michael Zuver did fall back to that 5th position. Stan Mayberry still sitting in that 6th spot. I will say, if I am on the track right now with 3 laps to go, this 6th, 7th, 8th position is where I want to be on the track. This is where I want to be, because you can use that momentum of somebody in front of you to just slingshot past people. So this, being back here in this 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, even the 10th position, that's where those drivers are really going to come in and see, you're going to see if they've got any of those right hooks left.
Yeah, it's like two heavyweight boxers, Chris, gassed out, trying to throw that one final haymaker to, land and possibly win. That's what you got to do here in this race car. Not saying you got to go out there and take everybody out Kevin LePage style, but you definitely got to try to go out here and do what you can. Might have to use that front bumper going into the corner a little bit, just more than you want to try to push that driver in 5, 4, 3 miles an hour over, just to get him out of that groove just a little bit to possibly open up a door, anything. You got to do something here. And I know we got a lot of hungry drivers, Chris, in that top 10 who want to win right now, who want to win bad. I'm talking bad. It's eating them up. They've had bad runs. They've had whatever it may be. You've got Jaden Bingham and David Smill, who have had great race cars all season. Jaden Bingham, I guess, would be a little bit more of an example, who've been getting just caught up in some of the mess. You've got Michael Zuver, who I know wants to get up here and win. Stan, who's come back from his hiatus, and now he is up 15 positions. He wants to win. Gaiman's wanting to prove a point. You got Gibney up there wanting to prove a point. These two Nitro fill-ins wanting to prove a point here tonight. Nick Cannon, after his wreck, heck, he's still in this thing. No damage on that race car. It could be Nick Cannon, Ryan Broderick. Anybody can win this race right now. That's what we love about Daytona, Chris. It's like picking a name out of a hat. You don't know who you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And experience is very needed here. But you could be here for your first time ever and get lucky and win at Daytona. Not saying this track takes no skill, or it does. It takes a lot of skill to not only be fast here, but to consistently be able to push, keep your nose clean, do whatever it may be. It's a very hard track. It might not seem like it, but Daytona, Talladega, all those tracks are very difficult to drive.
Well,
not taking anything away from it, but we know, Chris, like I said, Daytona is like an RNG generator, a random number generator. Anything can happen here.
Well,
anything.
that's
the beauty of it.
I was gonna say, that is the beauty of it. It's one of those things that you just can't, you can't really take your focus off of it. You have to be laser focused at all times. Like with a track, say, Michigan or something like that. You're coming down the front straightaway, the back straightaway, like, all right, cool, I got it. But a track like Daytona, you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times, like especially in corners. Going down the back straightaway, not that bad. Still you got to worry about being pushed and getting bumps, nasty bumps, like we've seen a couple here tonight. But if you can avoid those, you know, it's not really the back straightaway that you got to be worried about. It's the corners, because if you get even the slightest bump, if you're not just got a death grip on that wheel, you could be sent around. So it's just, you have to have a lot of concentration. And that's more tiring than actually racing, is having to focus.
100%.
And you know, I was doing the Xfinity race, you know, this past Saturday, and I actually went to the doctor. I had something in my eye, and man, I'm telling you, that was the worst night, having to sit there and hold my eye open, and just because I was laser focused on that race.
That sounds like a personal problem to you there, buddy. Well, I hear a cat meowing outside. That means it must be getting time to go to bed. Something, Chris. We ain't put him to rest yet. These race cars are still loud. They're still going. And we're about to see some action here. Probably some of the most action you've seen all night. I said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of hungry drivers are wanting to win here and win bad. This is going to be a war right here. As the 81 of Joshua Susi, the 26 of Jaden Bingham, and the 2 Nitro guys are going to bring us back to the green. Let's go, baby. We're going to see what these guys got tuned up for. We're going to see possibly some craziness right here. I'm expecting to see a car on the lid here soon.
Yeah, as we're seeing Joshua Susi take that outside lane, he backed it, or he got a little further out more than he wanted to. This is going to open up that inside lane. See Stan Mayberry going to go ahead and dive down to that inside lane. You got Ryan Broderick right behind him. But this is where it's going to start getting dicey right now. This is where
Nick Cannon, I got to say, we know how fast he is on tracks like this. I could expect to see Nick Cannon could be a sleeper pick right here. And even after coming through the field and wrecking into the grass like that, Nick Cannon, like I said,
Joshua came into the top lane.
Say, keep your eyes on that 88, but that Nitro team linking up on that outside lane, Chris. You are correct. If I remember correctly, though, through my years of full throttle racing, Nick Cannon's a great pusher. I'm not going to
White flag is out.
Oh, this is going to be hard for them to catch, Chris. It's going to be hard for them to catch.
Whoop, Zuver going around.
They're going to race back to the flag, and every single car just got wiped out. Oh, my. Look at Robbie Bice. Oh, my goodness. Get back up on board here, Chris. Every car. Jeez Louise, I've never seen that many cars wrecked down the back straightaway. It's going to be a Nitro 1, 2, 3, 4, Chris, but who is it going to be? It's going to be Joshua Gaiman, Josh Susi, beating, banging the line, and then here comes David Smill and Jaden Bingham.
Whoa. Not sure what just happened there.
It is scoring Gaiman in second, not Bingham. I thought Bingham got him, but it is scoring Joshua Gaiman in second, Jaden Bingham in third. But David Smill Jr., man, way to hold on. Oh, yeah, I heard it over the radio. Good race, boys. You know he's hyped up right now. Man, David Smill Jr. going to pick up the win here at Daytona. And all Gaiman and Susi had to do was just play nicely right there. And I think they could have had a good photo finish. Definitely the 33, like we said, Chris, wasn't wanting to let that Susi machine get off lightly there. He wanted that win.
So we're going to go back here and we're going to go back here and check out what happened with this wreck. We see Michael Zuver getting a little out of whack there. As you said, Nick Cannon gave him a little bit of a shove. You see the 62 of Kevin Gibney getting involved. Stan Mayberry going all the way down to the bottom.
You know, I said I've never seen that many cars wreck at Daytona. I have. But there was just so many bumpers flying around, Chris. It made the pack say, look at all those bumpers, man. Goodness gracious. Poor Don DeGroot, man. He's getting lifted off the ground. I heard Robbie Bice get mad after he came to the pack. He almost made it. I think he wrecked. Look at him. He doesn't lift, dude. He just doesn't lift. No!
Oh, that's dude. Where it was. That's where it was.
But, man, David Smill Jr., Chris, we'll get back up on board with him. We're not going to take away from his burnout here as much as we can. Goodness gracious, what a drive from the snap-on 27. I bet you that man's hyped up right now. Great job, David. It's good to have you at victory lane, man. As we will get ready for your post-race interviews here in just a moment, so do not go away if you do want to hear from your favorite drivers in the top three. If if you are a still Joshua Gavin or Jaden Bingaman fan, you're going to want to stick around because these guys have some words to say here in just a moment. But Chris, do we have our post-race finishing order ready here to go up on the screen? As we have your finishing order up on the board, it will be David Smill Jr. coming home tonight with the race victory after 105 laps, triple overtime. We'll see Joshua Gaiman come home in that second spot with Jaden Bingaman in third. We'll also see Joshua Susi in fourth with Stan Mayberry in fifth. Kevin Gibney Jr. going to finish sixth here tonight with Matthew Fitz in seventh. Kyle McCarthy going to finish eighth with Brody Green ninth. Chad Ingram 10th. Ryan Broderick going to finish out 11th here, and Nick Cannon's going to go 12th. Michael Zuber 13th, Don DeGroot 14th, Chris Lynn 15th. In that 16th position, we'll see George Wood, Robbie Bice in 17th, Ryan Sword 18th, Jimmy Barr 19th, Ken Baum Jr. 20th, William Hobart 21st, Bill Hells 22nd, Shane Weldon 23rd, Andrew May 24th, Daniel Holdcroft 25th, Kevin Click 26th, Kip Easley 27th, Lucas Nilge is going to finish 28th with Michael Self 29th. William Brown 30th, and rounding out your field from his early wreck will be that 29 machine of Jeremy Zarfos. But Chris, looks like we do have all three drivers ready. We're going to go ahead and bring up our race winner, David Smill Jr. Have a word with that 27 machine. David Smill Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. Do you got a copy, sir?
Got you, bud.
Man, oh man, I could tell from when you were coming across that finish line screaming, "Good race, boys." I knew this was going to be a good moment for you. David, you come home tonight, man, in that P1 position, and I gotta say, right behind you there, it was chaos. There was yard sales, bumpers going everywhere. Take us through the night, man, and your guys' strategy seemed to play out pretty well. You worked back up to the front of the field, and I gotta say, a great finish from you guys. A little bit of adversity there towards the coming to the checkered flag between some teammates, but we'll let that be for a different conversation. David, take us through tonight, man, and congratulations on picking up that race win here tonight at Daytona.
Thank you. Just, shout out to the team. I mean, races like this are a team effort. I'm lucky that we have someone like Susie. It's a hell of a crew chief and sets us up for success every week with the strats and all that stuff. So it was his call pit early, so we could get together as a team, just form up, ride around, and ended up working out because whatever we had lost on that main pack the first run, we had made up and then some. We gapped them on the pit stops. Hated seeing that yellow at the, I think it was like 70-something, whatever it might have been. That kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit, but we had numbers. And it was just try and find a place to just sit and ride for a couple laps. Just more or less, we were just trying to group up, stay together. They did a pretty good job. They're the one restart of breaking us all up, but through form, we all find each other in the end. And then I was hoping me and Jay could race Gaiman and Susie back to the line, and I don't know if they got to racing each other and took each other to the wall or what happened. It's unfortunate for them, but I mean, I'll take it. I felt like I've had a couple stolen from me this year through just circumstance, luck, what have you, my own undoing. But I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday was my birthday, so this might be the best birthday gift I could have got. So, love it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, happy birthday, David. First things first. That was like you said, a heck of a birthday present here to win at Daytona right now, especially with you guys showing so much speed throughout the field all night. Like you said, you've had a couple what seems like stolen from you. We were even saying that, you've always had a fast hot rod out there, just not able to sometimes put it all together, whatever it may be from the circumstances. But David, I know it's got to feel great here, not only to win, but to win at a track like Daytona.
Oh my God, yeah, man. I love this place. I love racing here. I mean, super speedways it's an art form. It truly is. It's a luck-based kind of race, as the finish will show you. But I mean, it's such an art to be good at this and be able to push and keep your temps down and keep your line in check. And I mean, I'm just glad I have amazing teammates that, we're all communicating and we were able to keep each other together and cool-headed and all that stuff. I mean, poor Jaden went for a ride down in turn 1, gathered it back up, and the next thing I knew when the caution came out, he's back in 6th. So, it's an art form to keep yourself in one piece. It's an art form to be there at the end. And I'm just grateful that not only do I seemingly have the ability to find myself where it matters, but I have amazing teammates. So,
well, heck yeah, David. It seems like you are just pumped to be in victory lane here tonight, man. But hey, we've had more than enough fun watching you up here tonight, man. It has been an awesome race from you guys. And hey, if you've got any final words thoughts, shout outs, anything, David, before we let you get out of here, buddy, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, and we'll let you get on your way here tonight and celebrate that race at Daytona. And hey, maybe a little bit of a late birthday beer or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah. First and foremost, nitro setups every week. It's a dime piece. They're so fast. I mean, God, between Susie, Kyler, myself, Jaden, even our new guys, Gaiman and Gibney and Chad, Brody, everybody on this team that's just so dedicated to success. And every week it shows. The setups are the proofs in the pudding with the setups. Um, Obviously, my team, I can't say it enough. I've such an amazing team. My wife, my two beautiful boys, you guys for the broadcast, all the admin staff in the league. Love coming here on Wednesday nights and showing up and having a good time. So I think I'm going to go crack a nice drink and go relax.
Heck yeah, well, you deserved it after tonight, man. Again, one more time, happy late birthday, buddy, and hopefully we'll be seeing you here in the booth with us in the next couple of weeks, man. Hopefully you can get some momentum going off this. But hey, congratulations again tonight, David. Enjoy the rest of your night, buddy, and hopefully we'll be seeing you up here soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
No problem. And that was David Smill. Going to go ahead and bring up Joshua Gaiman and get these last two interviews out of here so we can get you guys on the road. Joshua Gaiman, Chris, and Joshua up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Man, we right there at the end. We definitely saw a little bit of action there between you and Susie. But hey, an overall great race. You've come into the league very, fresh here. Not a lot of experience with a lot of the guys around here, but it seems like each week we see you, Josh. You're doing a great job. I mean, second place here tonight, started 10th, and able to roll yourself through the field. You're more than welcome to take us through how that ending played out, and hey, how the night felt for you going up to it.
Yeah, definitely wasn't trying to wreck myself across the nose, but he had started to side draft me there a little bit, and I gave him just enough room to kind of, do something, and we kind of just got hooked together, and Smil got biased there, but I mean, it was fun. I don't know if he's upset or if he is. We can talk it out throughout the week. There's no hard feelings from my end. I just, it's one of those things. It's Daytona coming to the line, so. Yeah, definitely wasn't trying to just wreck and screw both of us over, but I'm going to do everything I can to try to get a win where I can, even if I can't get to the playoff.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. You've done a great job here, Josh. Like you said, one of those things you can't really do much about it at the end of a race at Daytona. You're going for the win, and we pointed that out. A lot of guys there in the top 10 were very hungry for the win. You're trying to prove yourself, but hey, you had a great running race car here besides what we had to go on there at the end. And like you said, not going to hold yourself accountable for really much there. It's Daytona racing hard there at the end, so what else are you really supposed to do there? But hey, a great piece from you, nonetheless, man. You had a hot rod that was going well tonight. And Josh, if you've got any final words, thoughts, or anything you want to throw out there before we let you go, you're more than welcome to them. We'll let you get on your way.
Oh, yeah, I'll just shout out all the Nitro guys this week. We just kind of, we've got some secret sauce, and we played a good strategy to just get up there up front and stay there. If the caution didn't come out, we'd have probably had a half-track lead. But it's how it goes sometimes. And, we made the best of what we could and with what we had. And, pretty much everyone worked together really good tonight. I'm going to shout out 213 Simware and W Energy for riding on board my cars. And, you guys for putting on the broadcast and the admins for dealing with us.
Heck yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your night, man, to take a word with us here for just a minute. But hey, Josh, again, congratulations, man. I know it wasn't maybe the finish you were expecting there, coming to that checkered flag just a few hundred feet away from it. But hey, still a great finish from you here tonight, man. And we're excited to see what you got going for us here in the rest of the future here in the league.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right, thank you, man. Have a good night.
Yep.
And that was Joshua Gaiman. Got a little bit tongue twisted there at the end. I'm really good at doing that. We're going to bring up Jaden Bingham and have a word with our final interview here tonight. Jaden Bingham and Chris and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do, Josh. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm sure you're going to be saying the same here in just a moment. Jaden, you had a piece tonight. I said this about all the Nitro guys. You all had a piece tonight that was running so solid. The great pit stop strategies. And right there at the end, it seemed like you had a little bit of I want to say it was trouble on the first or second overtime finish. I know you moved back just a little bit, but able to work your way back through it. Jaden, kind of take us through the night here from your perspective. We know it was one of those there at the end. It got a little bit crazy between the Nitro guys. You're all kind of racing there at the end in that two-car pack on the inside and outside. But from your perspective, how do you feel like the night went? And do you think you could have had, maybe a chance to go up there and win it if it wouldn't have been for, one of those overtimes moving back a couple spots and just getting D-Link from your team?
Oh, race of the year. Absolutely. Like, best race everyone's had all year. Can't really complain. We all had fast cars. We were on the right strategy. We probably would have beat everyone else by pretty much 30 seconds because the pack in front of us had to pit yet. So sucks that the caution came out and it kind of bred some more cautions, but absolutely best race of the year. Can't thank Nitro Setups enough. All of my teammates, Brody, Chad, Kyler, Gibney, Susie, Gaiman, and Smeal. Hell of a run, Smeal. I was sitting there, I was like, come on, Smeal, go low, go low, go low, and he finally went low. But the only sketchy part I had tonight was on that first green white checkered, someone got into the back of me and I was pretty much sideways in the middle lane and somehow got it back together. But other than that, solid race from everybody. I'm just glad I didn't get Zuvered this week because he seems to be a weapon almost every week. So
We know how it can be, man. I mean, sometimes it feels like you got a target on your back, but Jaden, got to say, man, it was a great job from you here tonight, and you like I said, started in that ninth place position, rolled back there in the overtime, and hey, almost wrecked it there in overtime number one, but able to gain it back up and get yourself into a very respectable third place here tonight. And I got to say, Jaden, we're excited every week when you Nitro guys do great. We know it, but it seems like here recently, you guys have been ticking them off, and got to say, it's very fun to watch. But Jaden, if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out here, man, you're more than welcome to throw them out there. We'll let you get on your way and enjoy the rest of your night, buddy.
shout out to my dad. I don't know if he watched the end of the race or if he watched any of the race tonight. He usually watches pretty much every race. I hope he's proud. I hope all the Nitro guys are proud and we can all get back next week and, give you a good show.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, it's been an awesome time up here with you, Jaden, in the booth, man. We're excited to see you guys rolling out next week. I want to say next week's Darlington, right? So
Yeah,
so
final race of the regular season. So you're going to see some guys throwing some haymakers next week.
Heck yeah, man. Hey, we're more than welcome for it. But Jaden, once again, buddy, thank you for being up here, spending a moment of your time with us. And again, congratulations on that top three, man. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again here at Darlington next week.
Absolutely. That's the goal. See you, Josh. See you, Chris.
See you, buddy. Have a good night, man.
You as well.
Chris, that's the first time I think somebody said see you, Chris.
Yeah, nobody ever talks to me.
And, everybody's so used to talking to me and you just kind of being in the background that, hey, look at that. Jaden getting a shout out to Chris. That's what we like to hear. But it's been a great night here from us at Daytona, man. I got to say, this has been a fun night. One of those races that when it's over, you're like, man, why is it over? They could have went 20 more laps and I'd have been hyped up for that too. But like you said, the Nitro guys, Chris, were just on a mission tonight, and that mission did succeed. First place, second place, third place, and fourth place. A great running group from there, 8th, 9th, and 10th as well. So good job from all the Nitro guys. But hey, big shout out to all of our field here. Everybody ran great. And Chris, I know I never do this, but if I had to pick who I thought was my driver of the night, it's going to that 48 of Stan Mayberry, man. He came all the way from literally almost going laps down. If you hear the cat meowing, I do apologize. I have the door shut. Give me 1 second. Do apologize about that. I have a crazy cat at the door, but I gotta say, Chris, get back on track here. Stan Mayberry, him and Robbie Bice got linked up there, and you saw Robbie go back, and you saw what happened when Robbie lost Stan. I gotta say, Stan's my driver of the night tonight, man. He did an excellent job, worked his way back up, and got a solid top 5 out of it. But all the drivers here tonight did an excellent job. We saw so many, just crazy moments that could have wrecked and ended their night, but they were able to get through it. And Chris, if you got any final words, man, we'll let the Full Throttle Faithful get out of here, and we'll see him in virtual Darlington next week.
Well, just a big shout out to everybody out there on the YouTube, Facebook, Rylan for showing up, showing out like he always does. Big shout out to Robbie and all the admins, Fitz, William Brown, Austin Rhodes, all those guys that are behind the scenes that we don't talk to a lot. They are one of the main reasons that we get to do, like I always say every week, get to sit here and yell and scream at TV screens. So it makes it a lot of fun to sit down here, and I'm kind of sad that we're done with Daytona. Daytona is one of my, most fun tracks to sit and watch a race because you just never know what's going to happen. It's always just a roll of the dice. But just a big shout out to everybody out there on the Facebook, YouTube. Just want to also give a heads up. I've already talked to Robbie, but we are moving here within the next week. So if we are not here, if I can't get my internet moved over to my new place, we will be doing a replay of the race. if I can't get it set up. If not, then we will be here. If we do get it set up, then we will be here next week. No, you won't even notice a difference. So other than that, just big shout out to everybody. So much love for the Full Throttle faithful, and I can't wait for next week.
You are right, Chris. Cannot wait for next week. It's going to be a fun week at Darlington. Hopefully, we'll be all good there. Didn't even think about that. You saying that was like, oh crap, he's right. We couldn't be here. We might not be here next week, but hey, hopefully we are, and I would assume we are. And hey, it's been a great night here at Daytona. I gotta say, from me and Chris, it's thank you for everyone in the Full Throttle faithful coming out and hanging out here with us tonight. Once again, thank you to all the Full Throttle guys, Robbie, Matthew, everybody that makes this possible for us, and all the teams here tonight put on an excellent show, and everybody put on a great race. It was very fun to watch. So, hey, excited for Darlington next week. But sad that Daytona's over here tonight, but we'll be packing up, making our way to Darlington, and hopefully we'll be seeing you guys there Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So, again, congratulations to all of our drivers tonight, and enjoy the rest of your week, folks. We'll be seeing you next week at Darlington.